Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Reckless Paradise podcast. I am your I keep wanting to say co-host, your host, Dystro. And tonight's episode is another breakdown episode. Yes, another breakdown has landed. Uh, so tonight's topic of the breakdown. It is a 3 Days Grace album, and to celebrate, I guess, kind of the reunion of 3 Days Grace with the Adam with Adam Gontier and the current lead singer. Kind of like getting back together and all that stuff, which that's so cool that we're getting 3 Days Grace reunion in 2024. Can't wait for them to like do some cool stuff, like maybe a new album. I think I heard or something. But tonight's oh, excuse me. Tonight's album that I'm going to be going over is called 1X. So this is their second album. Came out June 13th, 2006. It's their sole album under the Sony BMG moniker. But in this is where their first album recorded as a quartet, as Barry Stock joined the group and took over the guitar from Adam, and it also is the band's first album to feature their traditional logo, which is kind of cool. So what we usually do on these breakdowns and all stuff, we usually try to find like if there's any meanings or anything for these songs, and then we always rank them on a scale from 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. You know how it is. If you've seen all of our previous breakdown episodes, please go check them out. You'll get to note what we do on this channel. So before I start, I wanted to say this. This 3 Days Grace album I was listening to at the time it was very good. And Marissa had suggested it to me. Because we were kind of going back and forth on if we wanted to do 1X or do Life Starts Now, which is the next album after 1X. I think we both decided to do 1X. But she was like, "Well, you should do 1X because of like some songs on there that we both know," and I was like, "Okay." So right off the rip, like I knew like four of the big singles off of that album. For 1X, so it was a really good album. I will get into it a little bit later on with the ending song, but I was gonna say my piece on some things, um, but I'll get to that in a little bit. So with that being said, let's get started with this one. So the first song it is called "It's All Over." This song was actually not bad. It was a good opener, I would say. But for me, I would probably if I had booked like not booked it, but if I had done it my way, if it was, I would probably start with "Animal I Have Become" or "Pain." Hang on with me for this. So I would have done like "Animal I Have Become" or "Pain" if you wanted to do that. "It's All Over," "On My Own," "Let It Die," then go into "Never Too Late," and then go into "Pain" or "Animal I Have Become." 1X, "Get Out Alive," "Riot," "Over and Over," "Time for Dying," and then it ends with "Gone Forever." Um, I will say this right off the bat. I didn't really like the ending song, but maybe if they switched it with "Gone Forever" or "Time of Dying," maybe it would have been kind of like a little bit more of an impact. Same with the first track, like it's over, it's all over. I think it was like one of those things where it's like if it was like it's their second album, you gotta come up with like a good bang and all that stuff. I think if you started with like "Pain" or "Animal I Have Become," maybe it would have been more of an impact and stuff. But it's not a critique. It's not a knock on the whole album as a whole. It's just a little critique, a little nitpick. But I don't think like anybody would probably a lot of people probably would have disagreed with me. I mean, I bet. So you just never know. But I digress. So this first one, it's called "It's All Over." Um, I didn't really find a good meaning about it. I know Marissa didn't really either, but I went to song meanings, the ever so trusting song meanings. Somebody had said, I think this song is about someone he truly cares about that is wasting their time away by drinking and or doing heroin or any type of drug. And all he could do is watch. And it's breaking them apart because they're watching this person ruin their life and giving up on everything. I think that this song speaks to a lot of people who know someone that is going through this and have tried to help them, but really this person can only help themselves. Which honestly is true. A lot of people go through drug addiction, alcoholism, and all that stuff. I know somebody personally with that. I know Marissa's probably known somebody with that obviously as well. But we digress and we trying to kind of help them get to the brighter side of that addiction and all that stuff. She Marissa gave it an 8 out of 10. I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. It's the exact same ballpark. We're not gonna try to price is right everybody. um, so with that also being said, the next song is a classic, a true classic. Pain. Um, this song is very synonymous with both of us because we've known pain and all that stuff. Um, I mean, right off the rip, it's like it's a 10 out of 10 banger. I mean, there's no question about it. It's like one of those songs that's like very iconic. Throughout the early to like not early, the mid to like late 2000s, like '06 stuff. And the music video itself is like synonymous with it too. Um, so I see somebody's talking about like like I can understand why some of you would think like it could be talking about like sex or something. But they said, they were interviewing Adam not so long ago, and he was saying that this song was about being numb to everything around you. Like when something bad happens or when somebody gets hurt, they would feel nothing. He wouldn't feel any pain at all. So in the song, he's saying that he would rather feel the hurt and rather feel the pain than nothing at all. So rather being numb, he preferred the pain because he's at least feeling something. And that's a pretty good like kind of like message to something. But also like at the time like Adam was kind of addicted to oxycontin and stuff like that. So not only this song but the entire album is about like the rehab process. I kind of catched on that too. um if anybody else had like listened to this album and all that stuff, like that's awesome. Good for you if you've I guess kind of catched on to the overall theme and all that stuff. So yeah, I mean Riot Pain is a 10 out of 10 banger. And Marissa's put it as a 10 out of 10 banger too. So we go from one 10 out of 10 banger to another 10 out of 10 banger with Animal I Have Become. Again, this song is another synonymous one with 3 Days Grace fans as well. And go to trusty song meetings and all that stuff. Thank you guys for saving my ass here. He's tried to deny, or this is talking about Adam here. Adam's tried to deny his darker impulses. He wants to avoid letting his anger drive him. He wants to deny his impulses for revenge and quell the rage that he feels inside of himself. He has tried to deal with some ever present problem that plagues him, but can't win no matter how much he tries. He doesn't want to believe that he's being driven to the dark side, but then when he says, "So if you could see the darkest side of me," he is in fact letting his dark side shine through. He is obeying his impulses. They're taking control of him during the song, and he's telling everyone, "Fuck you, I don't care if you judge me." Even though he himself is wanting to deal with his problems and also letting his animal urges take control of him, since that seems to be the simplest, most efficient way to deal with things. The rage that he feels empowers him and feels the animal that he is feels like he is becoming. Um, yeah, it's like one of those things where it's like the dark side. It's like not the dark side of the moon, but it's kind of like when the a dark side of an addiction kind of like takes over you and kind of like makes you like feel like you're a different person. It's like how should I put it politely? Trying to put it politely here. Um, it's like, not a lot of people can say, like, they dealt with those demons. Not a lot of people can say they've done that at all. Um, but it's one of those things where it's like you've got to kind of like pick yourself up and kind of like dust yourself off and all that stuff because tomorrow's a new day. And one of those things where it's like talk about the animal I have become. It's it's like I think Adam puts it politely and puts it like like solidifies it in the lyrics and all that stuff because like it's going through his rehab process. He's going through his drug addiction, and not a lot of musicians talk about that stuff. Like talk about it like in song form. Like they'll like portray it on screen, but then it's like they put pen to paper and it's like their true intentions, their true um lyricism like comes out and also being like like and it's like yeah like we might be like okay yeah like this catchy song and all this stuff but then it's like there's a darker reality behind each song and that's what kind of like makes us kind of like realize that, okay like is this person okay like are they doing okay and all this stuff. I mean Adam Gontier now is like he's clean, he's sobered up, he looks really good like I'm happy for him to be doing music again because he was doing Saint Asonia, another band that he's done in the past. Um, but I'm actually kind of glad that he's got back together with his band, like his own band, and they have two lead singers, which it's kind of like I'm gonna like try to. I'm gonna just put my prejudice aside. Like I don't really care for the other singer, but I liked Adam Gontier. And we've done like a huge like I think debate hour I think or we haven't done one yet on that subject. Um, but I've always preferred Adam Gontier over the newer one. So um, moving on. So my all-time favorite song that always breaks me down and makes me cry like a little baby. Um, it is Never Too Late. This one is also a 10 out of 10 banger. Three songs in a row. 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Um, I can see why Marissa wanted me to listen to this album. I've always wanted to listen to it, but it's like I haven't had the time to. Um, but yeah, like when Never Too Late comes on, it always like makes me break down and always makes me fall apart. Um, again, like one of those like bangers, like kind of like we don't know how much music has changed somebody's life through lyrics or whatever. So somebody kind of like try to put it as much interpretation and see how you see it fit. They say, and to me, this song, including my interpretation of the video, is maybe about someone Adam loves whose parents died as a child, and someone who could be a foster father, godfather, uncle, etc., molested her. And when she got older, she used drugs, probably tried to commit suicide, and ended up in rehab in a mental institution. The song title, Never Too Late, is referring to the idea that it's never too late to change or turn your life around. This world will never be what I expected, and if I don't belong, who would have guessed it? Means as a girl, she never dreamed that she would be in the position she was put in, and she feels like an outcast. I would not leave alone everything that I own to make you feel like it's not too late, it's never too late. Adams is saying that he can't change her life for her, but she has to be the one to decide that. And it's kind of like going with like uh, he's trying to give her the courage to tell her to keep going, tell her to be all right, but she's trying to commit suicide. And then straightforward like he can relate to her because he knows what it feels like to just try and stay alive instead of actually living life. Um, but yeah, like this song is like one of those songs where it's like I just like it's like the lyrics impact me as a person, because like it's just I think it's just because of the acoustic sounding at the beginning and then it goes like right into like in your face kind of hard rock music. Um, but it's like one of those things where it's like there's always a way out, to deal with that stuff. There's always somebody there's always like there to help you try to get down from that ledge. Um, and plus, like, I mean, probably in Adam's experience too, like, he's probably had to deal with somebody that was trying to commit that. I guess I should have probably put maybe like not spoiler warning, but a warning at the beginning of that song. It's like, yes, it has to do with uh, molestation and rape and maybe drugs and all that stuff. If you watch the video, prepare to have some tissues and all that stuff because it might make you cry. Like it's done to me many, many times when I've been hearing it in the car or hear it like within a few days ago. Um, but yes, like my point on this song is there's always a way off that ledge. It's not by suicide, but it's through help, and there's always help out there for everybody. But yeah, because it's never too late to see that side of life. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. We just need to make sure that we get to it. Um, we've got to love everybody for who they are and what they are out there. Um, but it's a 10 out of 10. It's my personal favorite song off this album, with Pain and Why I Have Become as well. But the next song, it's kind of like one of those like cool down things. It's like a cool down. It's like, okay, you have these like three bona fide bangers and all that stuff. It's like, okay, and then it's back down. So, um, we are on to track number 5 with On My Own. Um, this song was okay. I didn't. I'm trying to like put it politely here. Um, it's one of those things where it's like it's a cool down song, but it's a really good song, and I'm not gonna knock on that. There's only like two songs that I thought were no, actually three. Actually three. I'm sorry, three songs that were kind of like okay. And it's like I would listen to them, but it's like I won't listen to them all the time. But so this song is about. Man, this is gonna be a tough one too. So this song is about the lead singer's best friend who, when she was younger, was molested. But the actual meaning of the song to him and what he wanted it to mean, but it means something else to everybody. That's the magic in their music. Amen to that, Pie Man. Um, but also somebody else said like it could be about a man, drugs, and a woman. Adam's wife was saying how she's had enough, but Adam still lied about the drugs when he was still taking them. So he went to rehab where he soon learned how to live life on his own. That's a good meaning as well. Um, I've always like not preaching ideology, but it's like kind of being like, okay, like you gotta have your own life. You gotta take your own life by the antlers. You gotta give like your own life. Like you gotta live your life on your own. Um, but it's one of those songs where to me at least, I just gotta like listen to it more a little bit. But I gave it an 8.5 out of 10. She gave it an 8 out of 10. I think to her credit as well, it's like kind of like if she learned more of the meanings behind it, maybe she would kind of be like, oh, like okay, that's what it means. Um, but we're almost halfway through. I gotta take a little break, just so stay tuned. So continuing on to track number 6 is Riot. Now another bona fide banger in the discography of 3 Days Grace here. I'm going to admit that this song in me is kind of like a stranglehold because if if anybody has played SVR07 out there, you hear this song a lot, and why I have become on that track as well. Both of those songs like I never got tired of. I mean after a while, I probably like got tired of it, but it's like one of those songs where you gotta like I guess in some retrospect you gotta be in a mood for it. Um, but I mean it's another like banger in my opinion. Um, but I mean it's and plus it's like it's it's all in your face. I should say that like politely here. It's all in your face. But somebody put a great song. It gets my blood flowing through my veins faster than a Red Bull. Just makes everything feel better. I like hearing that. Yeah, shit happens, but I'm not the only one who has to deal with it. Um, Somebody else said like, I love this song and all my friends are confused because I'm a very quiet person. Anyway, pretty much this song is about being angry and not being afraid to show it sometimes. Not necessarily starting a riot, no matter how great it sounds, but letting someone know you're mad and standing up for yourself when you feel walked on. If you feel so walked on, so painful, so pissed off, you're not the only one refusing to go down. You're not the only one, so get up. That's my thoughts, anyways. Um, Somebody said like this song could describe so many feelings or lately, um, but it's one of those things where it's like it's very replayable if you are in the position to. Marissa gave it a 9 out of 10. I can see why, because I think she probably heard it a little bit too much. But I gave it a 10 out of 10. I really enjoy it a lot. And plus, like, yeah, it gets your blood pumping. It gets your body moving. Um. So on to number 7. Get Out Alive. This is another one that I think I have listened to before on Pandora. If you know that, that's crazy. Get Out Alive, man. This is one of those songs that I didn't realize I know that song until like I heard like maybe the first opening like guitar riff, which is shocking. Um, when we get to track number 9, it'll be another one of those things too. Um, I couldn't really find a meaning by myself, but somebody else had put this song to them. It pretty much means that you should be yourself. You need to live your own life and need to live it the way you want to. You can't be afraid of consequences, otherwise you'll only hurt yourself. Well said. And if you put your life in somebody else's hands, you'll never be happy because it's not your life if you're not the one living it, which makes the most sense in this context. um, Somebody commented on that. That makes sense because most of my life I've always tried to be something I'm not, and it trashes my relationships. Um, Damn, like it's like that one person just said, Ryle. Um, they put it very plain and simple. Like you gotta live your own life. You need to live it the way you want to, on your own terms. Because if you put it in somebody else's hands, it's like they could ruin you. They could trash you. They can make you like feel, I guess, not in control of your own life. I gave it a 9 out of 10 on for me. And Marissa put it as a 9 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 for her as well. So we're on the same wavelength there, which is quite cool on this channel. Most of the times we're not very much on the same wavelength, um, but it's kind of rare when we are. Um, so moving on to the next song number 8, "Let It Die." This is another one that I've kind of remember watching, listening to back in the day, on Pandora. I think I've like maybe heard it like maybe 1 or 2 times before, but that's probably it. And excuse me. And it's like one of those things where it's like I was like, oh, okay, like I actually really like that song. It's not a skippable song, but I think it's like one of those things where I have to be in the mood for it again. So for some context here, somebody had said the name is Ozzy Stevo. What awesome name! They said, well, a lot of males that have controlling partners will understand this. Sometimes females. In the beginning, they say they see fireworks and everything's right, but later on, they just lose that spark. The female blames him for letting the relationship go sour because he's had enough and just telling her that he doesn't have feelings for her anymore. Um, and plus, somebody put a little comment underneath it. It's like, unfortunately, that is how most of my relationships goes. um, Somebody put, perhaps maybe it's a couple and one went off somewhere for some reason for a little bit and asked her boyfriend to look after her hamster and then it died, and she comes back and she's mad at her boyfriend because her hamster died, and in defense he yells, "I swear and I never meant to let it die." Okay, that was kind of funny. We need some funny on this channel. But yeah, it's probably about like relationship kind of fizzing out. th- this person, and the person's name is Fallen Leaves. If Marissa watches this, hopefully you do. This person was called Fallen Leaves. It's a Billy Talent reference. That's awesome. Um, I I gave it a 9 out of 10. Um, just because it's like it's very kick ass. It's very in your face. Like I've said, like for most of these songs. She put it at a 9 out of 10 as well. And rightfully so. Is another kick ass song in the face. Also, I guess to clarify, I kind of messed up on the song listing here. So "Get Out Alive" was number 7, and "Let It Die" was number 8. Now we're on to track number 9. Track number 9 is "Over and Over." I do remember this song, which is funny enough. I think I've listened to it a few times before. Probably like on like random rock stations or something. This song is actually pretty good. I hadn't listened to it in a while, and I was just like, okay, like I was like, okay, going into it, I was like, all right, let's see how it plays out, and I actually really enjoyed it. Because it's been a while. Um, like I have said, like it's been a while since I had listened to it. Um, Going back to the song meanings here. The person named Chaos Griffin. That's a usual name, unusual name. The song is about having deep feelings for someone and not having those feelings returned. The fact the feelings aren't returned causes depression. Feel that, making the days drag on, and as your thoughts are on them and them only. You try to live without that person, but like a drug, you depend on them so you feel dead inside. And as much as you want to, you can't move on. That person swims in your thoughts. You can't get them out. What hurts the most, they don't even try to feel the same way. I don't know. Feel free to critique. And then somebody put, "It's critique." um, I mean, it's I I didn't feel that on that one. This person, they put, it's about drug use. "I feel it every day. It's all the same. It brings me down, but I'm the one to blame. I've tried everything to get away, so here I am again, chasing you down again." So it's talking about like Adam trying to get over his addiction, but he couldn't. So he's making the drugs feel or seem like a person in the song, but it's drugs over and over, over and over. "I fall for you." Again, he's falling for the drugs and trying not to. He can't escape. And then their person's name is F the world, but the is DA. So good, cool spelling. Um, I gave it a 10 out of 10. Marissa gave it a 10 out of 10. Um, I think this is like one of those songs where it's like I think we both kind of like I guess didn't realize like maybe we've heard it before or something. I don't really know. But that being said, on to track number 10, "Time of Dying." This one I didn't realize I had heard this one either. I think it. I think I had listened to this album before, but it was like very sporadic. It was just like one of the songs where it was like on shuffle or something. I think I had it. I think I had it on my playlist before. But then I was just like, oh well, okay. Like I just got rid of it. Um, but without also that being said, it is a really good song as well. So this person said, "On the ground, I lay motionless in pain. I could see my life flashing before my eyes. Did I fall asleep? This is all a dream. Wake me up. I live in a nightmare." So what they're basically saying is like, he just tried to kill himself and is lying there, unbelieving of what he just did. He questions whether it was a dream because he doesn't believe what he did. Um, then he has decided he had made a mistake and will survive. Talk about like like within like the song lyrics and all that stuff, but it's like when you is him, he feels better about himself and has more to live. He says he will live for you. And then talking about like he is in the hospital and he's losing everyone's trust in him because of what he did. He is also wondering whether life was too much for him to handle or not enough to keep him strong. He wants someone or needs someone to rescue him from what happened. It is a very powerful song. Talking about somebody's mental psyche, both physically and emotionally. We all deal with that here in Mother Earth. Just like it could be just something about like your day or something, and it's like kind of be bringing you down. But like going back to it's all over and pain and why I've become and never too late and all this stuff. It's to me and probably to everybody else. It's talking about Adam's uh drug addiction, going through rehab, and then trying to like make it to the other side healthy, trying to like stay the course and try to be clean and free and all that stuff. Um, I will say this: the time of dying, I gave it a 9.5. I think Marissa gave it a 9.5 as well. Let me go check here. She gave it a 9 out of 10. I think the next song, it's one of those songs that we both agreed on here. um but yeah, Time of Dying, one of those songs, like I think it's like maybe a sleeper hit, maybe. If you want to have it as a sleeper hit, I would say either Time of Dying or Over and Over is kind of like one of those like sleeper hits on this album. Um, but talking about kind of another sleeper hit, Gone Forever. Wow. Okay. So this one was kind of like in a way almost kind of not synonymous, but it's almost kind of the exact same vein as Never Too Late. Um, but this person put it plainly and simple, based on a relationship that did not turn out the best, like a lot of Three Days Grace songs. It hits with a personal chord with me with a relationship that didn't end in the best way, and I haven't talked to her in a year. I thought I missed her and wondered why she did the things she did, but in the end, I feel so much better now that you're gone forever. I tell myself that I don't miss you at all. I'm not lying. Denying that I feel so much better now. It may be a better person. Well, that's my 2 cents. Talk about like stages of a breakup. And we've all gone through that too. I mean, not me personally, but my friend Marissa has. As well, like like some other people that probably like I know in my real life. Um, I gave it a 10 out of 10. Marissa gave it a 10 out of 10. Um, yeah. So on to the last song. I'm gonna kind of keep it short and sweet and simple on some of these because like if I don't have to talk about it a lot, then I'm just gonna keep it short and sweet and simple. But if there's more that I need to talk about, like with pain, animal I've become, never too late in riot, I'm gonna be talking my ass off here. So on to the last song of this album called 1X is the main title and it's the title track album of the album, if I can speak today. 1X. I'm gonna say this kind of politely as possible. I didn't really care for this ending track. I know I'm gonna have like a lot of haters on that, but hear me out. Like I had said with, if I had done it differently, I would have done it with Gone Forever. I would have put that as the last track. Maybe would have gone out with a better bang with, better whimper. Um, Not to say it's a bad track or anything. It's just I think it's one of those tracks that's like, it could have been like the track before, sort of thing. Um, I think Marissa probably feels the exact same way too. Um, but going back to the song meanings here, from Ozzy Sivo, they say it's actually about being around a heaps of people, but you still feel like you're the odd one out, like you have an X on you. It's for all the people that feel alone, even when they have friends, family, people to talk to. Yet this depression clouds their vision, so they can't see help that is being offered. I feel it's a very deep song and you can relate to it in many different ways. Um, and man or woman, they say like like it pretty much describes how you feel about yourself. Um, being singled out from the rest of the crowd, being the one that has the bullseye on their back, and like talking about Adam's opioid addiction and oxycontin addiction and all that stuff too. Um, with that being said, on this song, I gave it an 8.5. I know that's kind of being harsh a little bit, but it's to each their own. Marissa gave it a 9, and I think maybe she probably put it higher because she kind of felt like that at the time when she listened to this album. Um, because she had an X on her back, kind of being like an odd one out in the group. Because she was going through a hard time. She's still going through a hard time right now, mentally and physically. Um, but it's like at the end of the day, it's like I'm always there to help her. Kind of like be like, hey, there's always tomorrow, sort of thing. Like never bring yourself down for anybody, and all that stuff too. But so, with that being said, I'm gonna tally up my score and all that stuff. I've already got Marissa's score, but I'll be back in a minute. So, I've got my score. Marissa's got her score. Marissa's score, overall score for her breakdown notes is a 92.5, which is not bad. I can't remember what are most, I guess, higher ones. I'm thinking maybe Dark Side of the Moon is way up there. I know a Billy Talent album for me is way up there. Um, but with my score, I got a 94.1. Um, I think the Time of Dying and um Over and Over kind of like put it over the top for me. Some so three songs that I could have like maybe give another listen to is It's All Over, On My Own, and 1X. Those are probably like my three that I would probably want to listen to more. Um, I'm thinking maybe Marissa's kind of like hate me for putting some blame on 1X here, but hey, it's my list, it's my breakdown. Um, so with that being said, that is 1X breakdown episode. Thank you very, very much for listening and or watching on this episode. Please make sure to follow us on all social medias in the link in description below, in the link tree description below, which will take you to our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook page, Reddit page, TikTok page, and our personal TikToks, I think, on there, our personal Instagrams on there, my gaming YouTube channel, which at the time of this, or at this moment in time, I'm at 1,480 subs. I'm 20 away from 1,500. Let's go. I've been working kind of like grinding and kind of making sure that I give some good funny content for people out there. I post memes, I post funny gaming clips. If there's any funny moments on gaming clips that I can capture before I don't forget about it, I'll put it on my gaming YouTube channel. We also have, on this podcast channel, we post our funny moments from games on that as well. And if there's any funny memes on there as well, that is from yours truly. But I will be back with the song of the night as well. So I am back with the song of the night. I'm gonna just go with a short, sweet, simple one. I'm gonna go with Pain. With Pain. Um, I think the song Pain. It's like kind of like it's like I said, it's very synonymous with mid to early 2000s. Um, and I think it's just one of those songs that's like kind of fits tonight's like I guess tonight's kind of vibe, I guess mood, I guess. But with that being said, tonight's song of the night is "Pain" from 3 Days Grace, and that's it. And I will see you this Sunday for another Shoot the Shit episode. Oh boy, I got a lot to talk about on that episode. But I'll see you this Sunday. Peace!